The past 2 weeks, I have enjoyed the unique experience of handing out money, literally putting cash into people's hands or doing it virtually through Venmo. Let me tell you, it's been pretty great. This year, First Congregational gave each family in our church $100 and asked you simply to share it with somebody who needs it. 61 families participated in the Ripple Generosity Initiative, and many of you emailed me to share about the experience. It's been a highlight of ministry for me to read those messages. Folks with families sat down and discussed where the money should go. Children and adults and youth made suggestions and talked through possibilities. Individuals sat down at their computers and carefully researched options. The process itself of deciding to whom we'd give served to awaken us to the needs of others. Of the responses that I got, about half of you gave to agencies or organizations, and about half of you gave to individuals, people known to you or total strangers in some cases. The various agencies you told me about are inspiring. There are so many ways that people are serving, so many creative and dedicated ways. One agency gives cash directly to vulnerable people who have been affected by COVID-19. At least a couple of you gave to Don't Forget to Feed Me, that provides pet food when it's needed. When money is short to buy food, it's not only humans who go hungry. Our pets do too. Someone gave to the Humane Society. One family is looking into what is called a freedge, F-R-E-E-D-G-E. That's a refrigerator placed in a neighborhood with vulnerable residents. The freedge is stocked full of fresh food and produce. The food's available for free to anyone who needs it and can be accessed at any time. What a cool idea. Many gave to the Tarrant Area Food Bank, noting that $100 translates into meals for 500 people. Talk about the loaves and fish multiplying. One respondent said, "Not only do we feel good about how our gift is utilized by the food bank to maximum effect, but we derive an equal amount of joy in knowing that our church, in this way, reaches beyond itself in mission to the wider community." May there be more such opportunities as we move into our future, that we act as the servant and that others will feel included in the family. Some gave to groups of people. One person took that $100 and provided a taco bar for teachers at a nearby public school. Another donated the funds to a favorite small, locally owned restaurant that their family has patronized for years. The family said, "The owners of this restaurant are both amazing people who have been so kind to our family through the years. This experience has been a stark reminder of the privilege that our family has enjoyed throughout the pandemic. Thank you to the church for giving us this opportunity." And lots of you gave to individuals. A coworker who had to stop working because her daughter tested positive. Another to a teacher who has to return to the classroom even though she has school-age children and her spouse, who has cancer, has to be hospitalized in isolation to receive chemo. Another to an international student in grad school whose studies are jeopardized by a drop in financial aid. Another to a friend who is incarcerated. He's in isolation now, spending 23 of 24 hours in his cell alone. But those funds allow him to purchase books of his choice to read and to study. Many of you gave to family members, to parents and siblings and children. One said, "We are not in a position to help our family financially like we'd want to, So the Ripple Initiative was especially meaningful to us. One person gave their $20 bills to delivery drivers. One of them said, "Oh boy, I get to have lunch today." Another family said that they had a tradition of eating breakfast at a local restaurant every week for the past 20 years. They got to know the waiters, of course, during that time. The waiters watched their children grow up. The family said, "These waiters are a part of our lives." Of course, during the pandemic, they haven't been able to go out and eat at all. But last week they said they got up early, they drove to the restaurant, in their pajamas no less, which sounds pretty fun in and of itself, and they surprised their favorite waiter with $100. Many, many of you remarked that you added additional funds of your own to the $100 Ripple. One person said that they had been planning to donate when we announced the initiative. So they took that $100 and they added to it. Before they were done, they donated $1,000, spread to a number of individuals, artists, agencies. I heard some cool ways that people were already practicing generosity. One person shared that a few years ago, they decided to budget $20 a day to give to folks experiencing homelessness. In the end, they said it doesn't amount to near that much because it really rarely happens, not more than once a week at most. They said $20 is enough for them to get something to eat, and most pack it up and go get their food immediately because they're hungry. Now, as I'm sharing these responses, I can imagine some of you saying, I forgot to let her know what we did with our Ripple money. That's fine. You can still let me know or not. It's up to you. I'm not keeping track. Maybe some of you really needed that money yourself and it's still in your wallet. If you need it, keep it. Please don't feel bad about that. Keep it with the church's blessing and know that it's an honor to support you, just as it's an honor for all of us to support our community in all the different ways we do. We launched the Ripple Initiative with the story of the loaves and fish. The disciples didn't think they had enough, but as they passed out the bread, it just kept multiplying. The people who didn't have any bread received it gratefully, and those who had something tucked away pulled it out to share it. That is a mark of an ethically evolved, generous, humble person. The ability to receive a gift when it's needed and to share a gift when it's possible. It's no secret that we're planning for what the ministry of this church is going to look like in 2021. We hope to return to face-to-face worship in 2021. We hope to do that without a reduction in staff and in a well cared for building that is equipped for safe regathering. We hope in 2021 to continue our vigorous outreach and justice ministries. And the truth is, we may not have enough. We may have difficult decisions to make. But do you know how proud I am to be in a church that just keeps putting it out there, that keeps giving, especially when the future is uncertain? That's what church is about. That's what faith is about. That's what it looks like to be a part of a community. If this is the kind of community that resonates with you, and if you are in a position to make a pledge to support this church in 2021, I hope that you will. I invite you to. There's a link in the comment thread you can access to make your pledge. You can indicate the amount of your pledge or let us know that you're unable to commit to financial giving at this time. I hope that everyone listening will respond on that link to let us know either way. It's helpful just to hear from you. It helps us plan. Lots of folks have already done so. Thank you for that. If you haven't yet responded, please do. Like any organization, there's a list of people, and when we hear from them, we're able to figure out to plan better. Until we hear from them, we just don't know. Every pledge matters. Even a small pledge helps, and it will serve to connect you on a deeper level to the values that this church embodies and has for decades: justice, inclusion, compassion. If you're new to this church, let me assure you that who pledges and how much they pledge is confidential. If you're someone whose income has not been reduced, think about giving more this year to make up for people who are struggling now and are not able to make a pledge. My wife, Lisa, and I are in that group. Our income has not been reduced, and we're spending less. Now, pledge amounts are kept in strict confidence, but I'm free to tell anyone I want to about what I pledge. And since I believe in financial transparency, excuse me, I always share the amount of our pledge. Last year, we pledged $10,000 to First Congregational Church. For 2021, we upped it to $11,000 because we can, because it is a joy for us to do our part. And I share it today because I want you to know, it's important to me that you know, that I believe in this place. I love this group of people who are making the world better, one ripple at a time. Together, all of our ripples, we can really make waves. Thanks for making time to worship today. This hour that we spend together is one of the best hours all week because of you. I invite you to continue to connect with this community by joining our Adult Ed series on Zoom, Outrageous Justice. We'll try to throw the link in the comment thread. Good, thank you, Mike, it's in there. I leave you with the Apostle Paul's words to the church in Ephesus. He wrote to them, and I say to you, I pray that God, out of the riches of divine glory, will strengthen you inwardly with power through the working of the Spirit. May Christ dwell in your hearts through faith, so that you, being rooted and grounded in love, will be able to grasp fully the breadth, length, height, and depth of God's love. And with all God's holy ones, experience this love that surpasses all understanding, so that you may be filled with the fullness of God. To God, whose power now at work in us can do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine. Friends.